Once upon a time, in a small, poor village, there lived a boy named Jack and his mother. They had a cow that no longer gave milk, and they were struggling to survive. Jack's mother, worried about their future, sent Jack to the market to sell the cow and buy whatever food he could with the money. On his way to the market, Jack met an old man who offered him a strange deal. The man smiled and said, "I'll trade you 5 magic beans for your cow. These beans can grow into something far more valuable than money." Jack, unsure but curious, decided to make the trade. He handed over the cow, and in return, the man gave him the 5 beans. Jack hurried home, excited about the exchange, but when he showed the beans to his mother, she was furious. "Magic beans?" she shouted. "You traded our cow for beans?" In her anger, she threw the beans out the window and sent Jack to bed, disappointed. The next morning, to Jack's surprise, a towering beanstalk had grown overnight, stretching all the way up into the clouds. Jack could hardly believe his eyes. "Mother, look!" he cried, pointing to the massive plant. His mother, stunned, could only gasp in amazement. It's huge!" Without hesitation, Jack decided to climb the beanstalk. He wanted to see what lay at the top, certain that it would be something extraordinary. As he climbed higher and higher, the ground below grew smaller until he was in the clouds, where the air was thick and misty. Eventually, Jack reached the top and stepped onto a large, flat surface made of clouds. In front of him stood a grand castle, its doors tall and ornate. Jack knocked, and the door creaked open, revealing a giant woman inside. "Are you Jack?" she asked. Jack nodded, nervous but determined. The woman, though intimidating in size, smiled kindly. "My husband, the giant, has been expecting you," she said. "He's not home right now. Come inside quickly." Jack hesitated, but followed the woman into the castle. Inside, he saw piles of gold, glittering jewels, and bags of coins. But there were 2 things that caught his eye more than anything else: a golden harp and a golden goose. The woman leaned in and whispered, "Take them. The harp plays music that can bring you riches, and the goose lays golden eggs. They are worth more than all the treasure here." Jack didn't need to be told twice. He grabbed the harp and the goose, but as he turned to leave, the floorboards creaked loudly. The woman's face turned pale. "Quickly, the giant is coming," she urged. Jack ran as fast as he could, clutching the harp and the goose. He reached the door and bolted outside, heading straight for the beanstalk. But as he began to climb down, the voice of the giant boomed from above. "Fee-fee-fo-fum! I smell the blood of an Englishman," the giant shouted. Jack's heart raced as he climbed faster, knowing that the giant was searching for him. When Jack finally reached the ground, he shouted to his mother, who was waiting below with an axe. Together, they began to chop down the beanstalk. With a great crash, the beanstalk fell, and the giant tumbled to the ground with it, never to trouble them again. From that day forward, Jack and his mother lived in peace and comfort. The golden goose laid eggs that brought them fortune, and the golden harp played beautiful melodies that filled their home with joy. Jack had found more than just riches. He had found courage, adventure, and a way to change his life forever. And so, Jack and his mother lived happily ever after.